In this tutorial, you'll learn how easy it is to add CSS3 animation to any form input field. And for this particular example, we're going to use an input type of text, and we're going to make this a search bar. And when you click on the search bar, it will increase the width, and then when you click out of it, it will decrease again, and it will have this nice transition effect too. We'll include this magnifying glass, and the great thing about this as well is that this can be easily replicated onto your website. So if you've already got your styling, you can just tweak a few of the styles from this particular tutorial to make it fit your design. We're not going to be using any JavaScript, just CSS3, and it's really easy to do, and it will work in any of the web browsers that support CSS3. Definitely the latest web browsers. So let's go ahead and take a look at our folder. In our folder, we've just got a basic HTML5 markup with a link to a style sheet. So in my CSS directory, I've got my app.css file with some basic styles. This would be your existing website styles, for instance. Next, I've got an images directory, which has my magnifying glass icon there. So now I'm ready to go ahead and write my code. So I'll start just by having a h2 with the title of search. And then I'll go ahead and create my form, but without an action for now. And I'll do my input type as text. I'll give this a name attribute. I'll call this search. I'll give it a placeholder, which will be search. And I will give this a class so I can target this directly. Now you'll probably bear in mind that if you're creating your own website, you may already have styles on an input field, so this is just why I'm targeting this directly. So, take a look at this in the browser. We can see that we just have a standard input type of text, which we now need to style. So the first thing that I'm going to do in my app.css file is target the search. And the first thing I'm going to do is give this a width of 100 pixels. And I will give this a border of 4 pixels, which will be solid. And I'll do that as a light steel blue, just so it's a nice contrast against the background. Next thing I'll do is I will add in that background. Now I'm going to do this the shorthand way. So I'm going to select background, and I'm going to first of all set that to white, and then I'm going to use the URL, which I will go back a directory because we're going out of our CSS folder here, and then into our images folder, and then that image is called search-icon.png. And then I don't want this to repeat, so I'll do the no repeat property here, and I'm done. Next I will position this, so I'll do background position, and I will set that to 10 pixels from the top and 10 pixels from the left. So let's take a look at that in the browser. We can see that that icon is just there, but we need to add some padding to this box just to make that stand out. So I'll do some padding, and then again I'm going to do the shorthand property, so I'm going to do 14 pixels to the top, and then I'll do 20 pixels to the right. To the bottom I'll do 14 pixels again, and then I'll do 42 pixels for the left. So you'll see that this now positions this search just nicely. So that's looking good. I will also add a font size. I'll do font size of, let's say, 14 pixels. I'll do font family as inherit because at the moment I'm using trebuchet, but the input field doesn't take trebuchet. So I'm just going to do inherit, so it inherits the parent styles, which is trebuchet. And there we are. And I just need to do an outline of none. The reason that I'll do outline of none is because when I click and hold on this, there's a light blue border or outline around that, so I don't want that to appear. So I'll do outline of none. And then the final thing left to do is just to add in the transition. Now this is the CSS3 transition, so basically what we're saying is that we want to change the width or apply transition to the width. I'm going to set that to half a second, so I can do 500 milliseconds, or I can do 0.5 seconds. Either is fine, and I want to ease in and out. Now just so this works in other web browsers, I'm going to do the vendor prefix for the WebKit, so I'll do -WebKit just here. And then the final thing left to do is just to apply that pseudo selector. So if I do search, so the pseudo selector for focus, and I'll show you what this does in a moment. And what I want to do is I want to increase the width of that input to, let's say, 400 pixels. So now when I save and I refresh this in my browser, what's basically happening is the focus event is when you click on that. What it's saying is I want it to increase to 400 pixels wide, but because we have a transition of 0.5 seconds, it will take 0.5 seconds to apply that transition to the width, and it will ease in and ease out. So when I click out, it will take half a second to go back to 100 pixels width, and when we click on there, it will take half a second. We can speed this up if we want to. Let's just say we wanted to do it at 0.1 second, just to show you how easy this is. You can refresh, and it quickly increases and decreases in size. So that's it. That's how easy it is to create an animation to any form input field.